Most people who try velocity banking fail at the same step. Not the HELOC, not the chunk, not the paycheck sweep, the surplus. They watch the video, they understand the strategy, they go to apply it, and then they sit down with their numbers and realize they do not actually know what their surplus is. They think they know, but then they add it up. When they look at what actually comes in and what actually goes out, the number surprises them, usually in the wrong direction. Now, those that have the Money Max account don't have that problem, but I want to let you know that this video fixes that. Today, we're going to do something this channel has not done before. We're not talking about the mortgage payoff timeline or the credit card chunk. We're talking about the number that makes all of those things possible. Your surplus, AKA cash flow. Because velocity banking, well, it doesn't work without it. And if you do not know your cash flow number, you can't start. So let me show you why this number matters more than any other number in your financial life right now. Same $15,000 credit card, same 22% interest rate, different surplus. At $300 a month, that credit card takes 11.4 years to pay off. You pay $26,034 in interest. At $500 a month, 3.7 years, $6,976 in interest. At $700 a month, 2.3 years, $4,228 in interest. The debt is identical. The rate is identical. The only variable is how much you have available to throw at it each month. Going from $300 to $500, finding just $200 more per month cuts 93 months off your payoff timeline. 93 months, that's almost 8 years, and saves you $19,057 in interest. That $200 is not a raise. It's not a side hustle. It's money you almost certainly already have that you are currently spending on something that's not building your freedom. So here's what I want you to do before we go any further. Pull out your last 3 months of bank statements. Not your budget, not what you think you spend, your actual statements, the ones that show every transaction that left your account. Most people have never done this. I mean, really done it, line by line, every charge, categorized. And the reason most people have never done it is because it's uncomfortable, right? Because the gap between what we think we spend and what we actually spend is almost always larger than we want to admit. Listen, I am not here to make you feel bad about that. I'm here to show you what closing that gap is worth in real dollars. Now here's the framework, 3 categories, and that's it, okay? Category 1, fixed expenses. Fixed expenses. These are the numbers that do not change month to month. Rent, mortgage, your car payment, your insurance, your utilities on auto pay, write them all down. Add them up. This is the easy category. Most people know these numbers cold. Category 2, variable expenses. This is where the money hides. Food, gas, subscriptions, eating out, coffee, clothing, entertainment, Amazon purchases, everything that fluctuates month to month based on your choices. Category 3, your surplus. Income minus category 1 minus category 2 equals what you actually have left. That number, whatever it is your starting point for velocity banking. All right. Now let me talk about category 2 because this is where almost every conversation about personal finance gets uncomfortable and most people stop listening. I'm not going to tell you to cut everything that brings you joy. That's not what this thing is about. But I am going to show you what the average American is actually spending in category 2 because the data is striking. According to CNR Research, a consumer research firm, the average American spends $219 a month on subscriptions. Not subscriptions they actively use every month, just subscriptions they're paying for. Streaming services they signed up for during a free trial, apps they downloaded and forgot about, boxes that show up at the door out of habit, $219 a month. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household spends $3,639 a year on restaurants and takeout. That's $303 a month, not groceries. That's just eating out. Those two categories alone, subscriptions and restaurants, average $522 a month for a typical American household. And I'm not saying cut all of it. I'm saying look at it. Actually look at it, because there's almost certainly money in those two categories that you would not miss if you redirected it. Now here's what the math shows when you redirect specific amounts. Canceling 3 unused subscriptions, $85 a month, pays off that $15,000 credit card 9 months faster and saves $1,527 in interest. Cooking at home 2 extra nights a week, $160 a month, pays it off 14 months faster and saves $2,394. Skipping 2 coffee shop visits a week, $80 a month, 8 months faster, and $1,456 saved. Now, if you do all of those together, $370 a month redirected, you pay off that $15,000 credit card 23 months faster and save $3,781 in interest, $370 a month. Redirected from things you were spending on without thinking about them, worth almost $4,000 in nearly 2 years of your life. Now, here's what I want you to understand about this exercise. The goal is not to identify every dollar you spend and eliminate everything that's not essential. The goal is to identify which dollars are earning their spot in your life and which ones are just leaking out. Every dollar you spend is a choice. The question is whether you are making that choice consciously or whether the choice is making itself by default. Velocity banking requires conscious cash flow management. Your paycheck sweeps into the HELOC. Your expenses cycle through with intention. Your surplus, whatever you decided it is, works every single day while it waits. None of that functions if you do not know your number. So here's the homework, and I mean this literally. Do this today, not someday. Pull your last 3 months of statements. Go line by line. Categorize everything. Fixed versus variable. Then calculate your average monthly surplus. If the number surprises you, either direction, hey, that's information. A surplus larger than you thought means you can move faster than you thought. A surplus smaller than you thought means there's work to do in category 2 before the strategy can perform. Either way, now you know. And knowing is the first move. Let me show you what this looks like in practice with a real example. Someone's sitting down for the first time with their statements, right? Income, $5,000 a month, fixed expenses, rent, car payment, insurance, utilities, $2,800. That leaves $2,200 for variable expenses and surplus. They think their variable expenses are around $1,500. Surplus, they estimate around $700. Then they go line by line. Streaming services they actually watch, $45. Streaming service they forgot about, $15. Fitness app they have not opened in 4 months, $12. Subscription box from last Christmas, $40. Total subscriptions, $112. Groceries, $480. Restaurants and takeout, $390. Coffee shops, $145. Total, $1,015. Gas, $180. Miscellaneous Amazon, $210. Various other, $260. Actual variable expenses, $1,777. Actual surplus, $423, not $700. The gap between what they estimated and what was actually happening was $277 a month. That gap, left unexamined, was costing them almost $20,000 in extra interest over the life of their credit card debt and adding years to their payoff timeline. After the audit, they made 3 decisions. Cancel the 2 subscriptions they weren't using, cut restaurant spending by $150 a month, still eating loud, just less reflexively. Stop that Amazon scroll and buy habit, still buy what they need, just with the 24-hour rule before purchasing. New variable expenses, $1,432. New surplus, $568. So not $700, but significantly better than the $423 they were actually living on before the audit. That $145 improvement found in one afternoon looking at statements changed their entire velocity banking timeline. That is what the surplus audit does. It does not require earning more. It requires seeing clearly what is already happening with what you earn. Now here's where I want you to go next, because the audit tells you your number, but we want to show you what to do with it. You put in your surplus, your actual surplus, the one you just found, along with your balances and your rates, and it shows you exactly what your payoff timeline looks like, your specific chunk schedule, your specific interest savings, not a generic example, your situation. If you're looking to do that, there's only one place to go, and that is to the description link, to click on that one link there. And if you want to be inside a community of people who have done this audit, who have sat down with their statements and had the uncomfortable, honest conversation with their own numbers and come out the other side with a plan, join us. That's too is in the description below. And if you see a video on this screen, you know what? That's a sign that you should click it and watch that one next. God bless you, and we'll see you in another video.